Hello, all of my beautiful people out there. Welcome to another episode of Burgess&Son podcast. I am Zay for life, and this is Burgess. We are Burgess&Son, like father and son. How you doing today, Mr. Burgess?
Fantastic. How are you, sir?
I am good. Another Christmas is check mark out of the books. Christmas 2025 is over. Time for New Year's, 2026. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. You had a good Christmas?
I did.
All right. I know you was out of town for Christmas. How was that?
Oh, it's pretty cool. Good time.
Yeah. Always good times, with, especially when you get to chill with other families. Family period around the holiday season, but to chill with other families and get to see different sides of the country on different types of settings. It was a good Christmas for me as well. Hopefully for a good New Year's, okay? Some New Year's resolutions out there. I know a lot of you are going to have some New Year's resolutions. Be careful in what you're doing. If you're going to sign up for the gym, please go more than 2 weeks. I beg of you to do that. Go more than just 2 weeks, okay? Go for at least a month. Or you can try just working out at home and then signing up for the gym later. Could do that. Also, my New Year's resolution I got this year, and I know a lot of y'all have this problem, okay? When you put stuff in the microwave, press the number. Don't just smash the 30-second button 10 times to get it on 3 minutes.
What's wrong with smashing the 30-second button, dude?
I do that all the time. I got to get out of that, man. Just push 3 minutes. Don't just tick. Like, you're a smack. That 30-second button is going through it.
At your house.
It's going through it. They need a break.
I'm going to hit that 30-second button, dude. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, they need a break. Give me a break. That's what my 30-second button is doing at my house, for sure. But welcome to another episode of Burgess&Son podcast. We are happy to be here. We are closing in on 2025. It's been one hell of a journey. We actually started doing this, talking about this podcast in 2024, but we actually made it happen in 2025. So we coming up on a year of doing this podcast. It's been one hell of a journey, one hell of a fun journey, in my opinion. We've grown together. We've learned a lot together, and I can't wait to see what 2026 holds. But in 2025, we're going to start off with NFL today. The NFL season has been dramatic in itself since preseason. Even before the preseason, from the Michael Parsons trade coming in, all the way to what's the fiasco with Russell Wilson going to New York, how we thought that was going to happen, and then they drafted Jackson Dart. Shedeur Sanders slide down to the fifth round. It's been a lot going on in the NFL season, and then this last couple of weeks, coming up to the last week of football, it's definitely going to be some more dramatic shit going on. A lot of drama. Okay, we're gonna start with the NFL. Like I said, it's a lot of games coming on next week. I think actually tonight is Monday. What are we? Monday, December 29th. This is actually a pivotal game tonight because the Rams need to win in order to stay in talks of their number one seed. If they lose, I mean, it's not out of the window, but it's out of the window. You know what I'm saying? But a couple of games we got coming up this weekend. For sure, Ravens Steelers is a big one. Panthers, Buccaneers, Seahawks. I think all games this week coming up is division games, if I'm not mistaken. Because a lot of them have, scenarios going to the playoffs. First one we're going to talk about is actually going to be on Saturday. Saturday coming up January 3rd. That's going to be the first game of that is Panthers and Buccaneers. Both of those teams are fighting for not only a spot in the playoffs, but to win their division. If you was to ask me about 6-7 weeks ago who I think was going to win this division, I would have told you Buccaneers, hands down. Nobody's going to beat them. Over the next couple of weeks after that, Bryce Young has came into his own. The Panthers look nice. That is going to be a good game. What's your thoughts about that game, and who do you think will take that division?
I want to say Bucks. I really do.
Yeah.
I want to say
I
Bucks.
want to say it so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you just don't know. They've been they've been doing just enough to lose games lately.
Yeah.
They haven't necessarily been getting blown out, but they're just doing just enough to lose. The game's in Tampa Bay, so I will pick them, but it's definitely not a confident pick.
That's not guaranteed.
Not at all. And then I think we're going to end up with a team that's going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be under 500.
Yes.
One of them two teams is going to be under 500.
Which is crazy. I haven't seen that in a while.
I think the Panthers, they don't have the same record. I think the Panthers are what? The Panthers are 8-8.
I think the Panthers, yeah.
And but the Buccaneers are 7-9.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Buccaneers win, and they have the same record, both lose, but one of those go to the playoff. But
Yeah.
vice versa. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Yeah, I desperately want to pick the Buccaneers because I've been high on them. Well, what was it? A couple of episodes. It feel like
And you were calling for Baker to win MVP.
Look,
that's out the window now. Forget that,
dude. I'll just say I was high on them, and I was ready for it. I thought it was gonna be cool. I thought it was gonna I thought Baker was. I mean, Baker's still a good player. I thought the Bucs was back. I was like, oh, they Super Bowl ready. Nah, not anymore.
No sir.
What's crazy is the Buccaneers played so good early. Now they're losing late. We're looking like, oh, they're going to struggle versus the Panthers who struggled early. Now they're playing great late. We looking at it now, the Panthers get to the playoffs. We don't want to see the Panthers.
I don't know if anybody's really scared of the Panthers, though.
Why not? Because they have nothing to lose. You don't know who the game plan for.
It'd be embarrassing to lose to them. Yeah, I mean, you'd be afraid for that to happen. But I mean, like, oh my God, the Panthers, how do we game plan for them? They're so good.
How do you game plan for the Who do you game plan on? Bryce Young? No. Which receiver do you game plan on? You don't know.
Dude.
You got to be ready to go to that game. And
I would be more scared of Tampa Bay than I would of the Panthers. But, I mean, really the way that the Tampa Bay's playing, I don't think anybody's scared of them.
Yeah,
Least of all the Panthers, that's who they got to worry about.
Hey, Panthers got a top corner in the league, J.C. Horn. He's
a bad boy.
He's been. I think he's got a pick in the last 6 games, which is insane.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
So they don't look as scary coming off to you because they're just the Panthers. But hey, you don't, especially in the playoffs, you don't want to fall asleep.
No,
you don't want to fall asleep. Game 2 of Saturday night primetime games, pivotal game again. This game might, it depends on how the Rams play today, but this game might be for the number 1 seed of the NFC, and that's going to be the Seahawks traveling to San Francisco to play the 49ers. And that, like I said, that division is tough. Besides the Cardinals, whole division is tough.
You got 3 teams that could potentially win at least 12 games, all 3 teams.
If the Rams win tonight, there's 3 teams that might go to the number 1. They might be the number 1 seed,
all
from the same division.
All 3 of them could conceivably be number 1. I think the Seahawks have the highest likelihood, and then after that, I think it's the Niners. But still, yeah,
it's crazy, and that's like I said earlier with the drama that's going on. I love that drama, and I want that drama.
Let's normalize recognizing how good the Niners have been when, like, their entire roster's been out.
Oh, my God, yes.
So, Brock Purdy missed a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm.
Kittle's been out a bunch of games.
Mm-hmm.
Werner's been out for the year.
He's out for the season.
Bosa's been out for the year.
He's out for the season, too.
So, I mean, like, they're all of their top name players. I think Trent Williams was out for a little while, too.
He got hurt last night.
So, like, they're winning all these games.
Where the hell is Brandon Ayuk been at?
Right, and I don't even think there's anything wrong with him at this point. There's just, I guess, a problem with the organization and him. But they have put together a fantastic season considering all the injuries that they went through, which it almost seems like this happens to them every year. Like last year, it happened to them, and they ended up going 6-11. I think it happened to them maybe even worse this year, and they're what, 12-4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, my team, of course, the Washington Commanders, we had injuries out the wazoo and we fell apart. We're 4-12. So, I mean,
it's on to next year with the Commanders.
Let's just take a moment and recognize how good the Niners have been. Bang bang, Niner gang.
Hey, bang bang, Niner gang for sure. I even said it last night. I was like, all the injuries that the 49ers have, if Brock Purdy is able to win this game, can we talk about Brock Purdy being a top quarterback in the league?
Yes.
Because, like, I get it, and people's going to always say, well, you got all, especially last year, you had all superstars around you, from Debo to Ayuk to George Kittle, Trent Williams, and, like, it's easy to plug and play. What about this year? He has none of those, and he's out there balling.
Because even Ricky Parasol, he's missed some time. Juwan Jennings, he's missed some time. Like, I mean, dude, they've been putting it together with, like, patchwork.
I forgot about this, but people forget that Scott Moore was on a Kansas City Chiefs championship team, and he's on the 49ers. He's not even relevant on the 49ers. I forgot he was on there. So, like,
Wasn't really relevant with the Chiefs either.
more relevant with the Chiefs than he is with the 49ers.
Yeah.
I forgot he was even in the league. Like, I was like, yo, I forgot about him. Like, what happened? But yeah, yes, let's normalize giving, especially these teams that deserve the credit, give them their credit way earlier than what they should. Give these players the credit way earlier than they should. Coaches as well. I think even though we are begging for Kyle Shanahan to get some type of championship, it's not. I don't think that it should be pressured on, especially like this season. Like, he should be fired if they don't get to the Super Bowl.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it should be like that type of deal.
Unless he does something stupid in the Super Bowl and chokes away another one.
Yeah, because he's 0-2 doing that, ain't it?
Well, I mean, and if you count him as the offensive coordinator of the Falcons that year.
0-3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a great game for sure. Seahawks are going to be in San Francisco. What's crazy to think is if San Francisco get their number 1 seed, they're gonna be at home for the whole entire playoffs.
Yep. If they make the Super Bowl, that's where the game will be played.
That's nasty. I'm actually rooting for that. It will be fun. But who you got actually winning that game and coming out with the division? Probably the number 1 seed.
I'm gonna go Niners.
Niners.
I'll pick the Niners.
I think that would be a good one. Yeah, Niners. I think the Niners getting it. Like I said, I want to see them at home throughout the whole playoffs, and I think it will be good. A game that it doesn't matter anymore because they're eliminated, but the Colts and Texans was looking like going to be a good game for the last game of the season. But Colts got eliminated. 3-game losing streak since Daniel Jones got out. Phillip Rivers haven't done nothing, which what did you expect?
Well, I mean, he played okay. Like that game against the Niners, he played great. They just couldn't keep up with the Niners.
Yeah, I think people are like overlooking it as far as like they thought he was going to at least win a couple of games, get them playoffs. I'm like, even if he did,
I don't know.
What would you expect for him in the playoffs?
I don't know who was expecting him to get off the couch after 5 years and win games in the NFL. I mean, what he's doing is already amazing. Mm-hmm. And he's probably about 30, 40 pounds heavier than when he played.
Yes.
Got a double chin and the whole 9, but he's still throwing darts.
Another pivotal game I think is going to be we just want to watch for it. Maybe it's going to be dependent on seeding for these two teams or maybe even division. Chargers travel to Denver to play with the Broncos. Right now, Broncos are on top of one of the top 2 teams between them and the Patriots. Didn't know that Chargers was kind of sneaking up on them as well, but yeah, this is going to be a good, like I said, pivotal game for seeding. It's certain teams that you don't want to see in the first round. There's certain teams that you kind of like, even though they're not, you're the better team, but you want to still get the easiest path to the Super Bowl. I think that's going to be a very fantastic game, a way to end off the season. I don't know about you, but I think the Broncos are just too good. But I watch the Chargers come into Denver and actually beat Denver in Denver.
Could happen.
Who you got winning that game?
Dude, I don't know, man. I didn't flip a coin on that one. I really don't know. I got no clue.
You better stand on.
Where's the game?
In Denver.
I'll go with Denver just for that.
They say standing on business. What you say in the beginning of the season? Chargers winning that division.
No, I really can't. I'd like to, but I don't know. That's it. Well, I don't think they can win the division now. They just lost the game, and there was already, I think, at least a game or maybe even 2 behind. So
really?
I think even if they win the game, I don't think they.
I think if because we. Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they still can. It's still in the battles on seeding too.
Yeah, well. I mean they can get a better seed for the wild card, but they're not winning that division.
But yeah, it would still be good to see the Chargers beat the Broncos before going to the playoffs, and then you might not want to see the Chargers in the playoffs.
No, you might not. You might not. Not with Hampton back and Justin Herbert's playing well. But let's see what they do in the playoffs now.
Yeah, that is true. Wasn't it the Chargers that let the Jaguars come back on them?
It sure was, and Justin Herbert was the quarterback in that game.
Imagine that. I don't think it's going to happen because Jaguars. Oh, yeah, Jaguars are about to win that division.
Jaguars could potentially get the number 1 seed.
Ew.
If New England lose.
Oh wow.
And they win. Yeah, that could happen.
Imagine that.
It could happen.
Okay. Last game we're going to talk about. It was a game I said it first, but it's going to be the nighttime primetime game for Sunday. That's going to end the NFL regular season for 2025 into 2026. Ravens travel to Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is for the division, and this is for their spot into the playoffs. I had the Ravens as my Super Bowl pick, along with the Green Bay Packers. Both teams are going to the Green Bay is going to playoffs. Ravens need this game to go to the playoffs. Both teams have kind of disappointed me throughout the year, but it's still a possible, especially for the Ravens winning, it's still a possibility of both teams go to the Super Bowl, which is crazy. Game is in Pittsburgh. Possibly Aaron Rodgers last year. What are we thinking?
I'm going to go with Baltimore. Okay. And it doesn't even matter to me whether Lamar plays or not. Mm-hmm. But the reason I'm picking Baltimore is because no DK Metcalf.
Okay.
And I watched the Steelers play without DK Metcalf.
They look like
they could not move the football. They simply could not. There was no long plays down the field. There wasn't even really legitimate attempts down the field. So if Baltimore knows that you can't really challenge them and stretch the field and they crowd the box, well, you're not going to be able to run the ball. Not that Pittsburgh is a great running team either. Mm-hmm. And, dude, they got Derrick Henry doing Derrick Henry shit right now. I mean, that dude just had 200-plus yards and 4 touchdowns in the last game. Mm-hmm. And looking like King Henry from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Or hell, from last year.
Yeah.
You know, so
and he was like two more touchdowns for being top 4 in most touchdowns.
Yeah,
scored.
and if he has a decent year next year, I think he'll get like in the top 7 all-time rushing, something like that. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll do that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Ravens. I think they win this game. I think Pittsburgh's offense is going to be the end of it. And I don't think, is TJ Watt going to be back for that game? I don't even know.
I don't know for sure, but I will look it up. But I'm pretty sure
they will need him.
Yeah, you need everybody. All hands on deck.
Yeah, but no DK Metcalf, that hurts them so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw what their offense looked like without him.
So speaking of DK, what was your thoughts about what he did and the suspension that
Stupid.
he got?
Stupid.
Just dumb.
And you know what? It don't matter to me what that guy said to him.
Yeah, it don't.
It really don't. You cannot hit fans. He's lucky it was only 2 games.
Lucky
it was only 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, you just can't hit fans. And it doesn't matter what he said. And it doesn't matter if he said something about his mama or called him the N-word and all of that. And all of that's god-awful terrible. And the fans shouldn't be speaking like that. But, dude, how much money this is potentially costing him?
Dude.
Did you see that because of the suspension, there's a possibility of him losing guaranteed money? And it was
$50 million. Well, 46 technically, but like basically $50 million in guaranteed money.
Now, it doesn't mean that he's lost it, but that he could.
Just the fact that you could lose it, in my mind, you lost it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, is it
over something stupid though?
Is it worth it? Is it really worth it?
No.
And I mean, I guarantee you, whatever that fan said to him, lots of people have said way worse to him.
You went to school in Mississippi, and you mean to tell me an NFL fan in Detroit said something worse than probably a white student in Mississippi? I mean, like, and you played Mississippi State. Let's not forget the in Mississippi State. So I know.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
Well, I mean, let's be real. If you're black and in America, you've heard some racist shit before, directed at you or directed at someone near you.
Exactly.
So I mean, I'm not saying that you can't be offended, but that can't be your reaction. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
Like that's dumb, and you're potentially hurt your team. I think, honestly, they win that game if he played
versus
against the Browns. And then this game is a non-issue, and everybody gets to sit and rest for a week. But no, you had to and it was of course it was over his head and all of that. You're not really going to hit him. But I mean, still, you can't
swing at him.
You can't hit fans.
You can't swing at him. You can't talk. You really can't talk to him. You can talk You can talk buddy shit, but you can't really talk.
And then, of course,
nasty.
the fan was in the stands. He walked over to him and didn't wait long to hit him. So, look,
it's frustrating.
yeah, it really is, because it's like you just put yourself in just an awful situation. You put your team in an awful situation. And
it sucks for people like us that's like talking about sports and covering sports, and then on top of it, we've seen the backgrounds of sports and we've seen the behind the scenes stuff, and so we know that a lot of things that people are being portrayed as is not really what the media put is not really true. And so for us to look at it, somebody who like DK Metcalf, that we know he's a quiet kid, he's nice, genuine, he's all about playing ball, and that's what he go do. And then you do something like this, we know that the people are going to say, oh well, now look, it's just another one that. No, it's not like that, and I hate that I can't defend you like I really want to, because just like
it's indefensible.
Yeah,
You can't hit fans.
You can't.
I mean, really, the only excuse would be if that fan jumped out the stands and then came on the field and attacked you.
Yeah.
And then all bets are off, and, hey, two-piece them up all you want to.
All you want to.
But, I mean, look, dude, you just can't allow that to be your breaking point.
Especially from the stands. That's what kills me, man. He was already in the stands, man. Like, just let whatever he's saying is really irrelevant to what you got going on. Now I get it. I've said it before to where, like, I get that it's a fine line. It's an invisible line to where you can't cross it. It don't matter if you're a player or a fan. But at the same time, when you're on that gridiron, when you're on that court, that line, it's invisible for a reason. People are going to step over it. And either you're going to play by their rules, get suspended with them, get fined with them, or whatever it is, or you're going to learn to, like, hold it in. I find a poster of you somewhere and punch the shit out of it. But you gotta be disciplined.
I look at it like this. So when I was younger, I had a Mustang. It was nice. It was really nice.
Was it red?
No, it was black.
Okay. Ooh.
But it had red racing stripes and a red and black interior. It was
Nice.
it was really nice.
Nice.
I was about 25. And you couldn't tell me nothing about that car. Now, my life was in shambles, but I had that car, so I thought I was good.
That was the shit.
But one of the things that I used to struggle with when I was younger was road rage. I know you hear me probably cuss people out in the car, but, I don't do anything too crazy once I get my cussing out is over with.
Yeah.
But that's now. Back then,
bad.
dude, I would chase you.
Jesus.
So one day, I was in New Jersey on the New Jersey Turnpike. Anybody who stays up that way, you know what the New Jersey Turnpike is like. So I was getting on the highway, and I was behind a motorcycle. And I guess he thought I was a little bit too close. And he threw a Coke can bottle. I couldn't really see it.
Yeah.
But it thudded against the front of my car. Now, look, dude.
Pissed.
Hey. I went crazy. So he threw it and then sped off. Once again, I'm in a Mustang. Dude, I went about 110, caught up to that dude. And then I pulled alongside him. And, like, I'm yelling at him. He can't hear me. His motorcycle's loud as hell. My car's probably loud as hell. He's got the helmet on. The whole
I've learned recently the helmet shuts off everything.
And he's gesturing to me, and I'm gesturing back to him. And I was just so mad. I grabbed like some change that was in the cup holder and threw it at him. Now, he's got a helmet on, and it all hit him in the face. Dude, he was going 100 miles an hour almost. Like, he did one of them. Dude, my whole life could be different right now. I swear to God. So, I say that to say this. That situation was similar to that road rage situation. As when I have road rage now, I'll be mad about it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll never think about it again. It's so insignificant. That could have been him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be pissed, be mad, but don't give a reaction. Keep playing. Forget you maybe even after the game a little bit you'll remember it, but I mean, like, after a while you'll forget it because something else dumb will happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. That's actually what got me to stop road raging, is because I realized I could have killed that guy.
Damn. And then, if imagine that something would have happened. Like,
Yeah, I mean, dude, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'm probably in prison somewhere. Still, probably.
Yeah. That would be tragic.
Yeah.
Hey, just like sometimes you can think about it. You can still be mad after the game. Look at Carmelo Anthony. He's probably still waiting on Kevin Garnett in the locker room right now.
But that's different. That's a player. That's another player. You can punch another player.
I said, like, he was waiting for a while.
Yeah. But I just wish he would have had a little bit more of a cooler head.
You would hope so. Especially when you see at the age that you are now, and then you looking at these professional athletes who are 20, really like now in basketball from 18 all the way to 27, and you like, dude, like y'all just don't know yet, and it's like you see, but you can't do this, you can't do that, like oh my, like you get mad because it's like y'all are fucking up money. If I had this, I wouldn't. You can say whatever you want from whatever you like, you know what I'm saying. So it's different things. Before we move on, I would like to say I said in the beginning that we looked at Kyle Shanahan as like a coach that's not even then if he goes losing the playoffs, I don't think his job is anywhere threatened. But we had a conversation to where we talked about a couple of coaches' jobs that could be threatened this playoff. One in particular is the Buffalo Bills. Them losing was to the Eagles. I get it, it's the Eagles, defending champions, but wasn't the game in Buffalo?
The game was in Buffalo, and they had a chance to win it at the end. What really killed them, because this is why they lost the game, is the kicker missed the extra point after the first touchdown. If he makes that extra point, it's 13-7, and then when they go to score the second touchdown, they're kicking the extra point to win the game, and the game's over, and they win. So I can't blame the coach for that necessarily, but I don't know where their offense was in the first half of that game. They can't afford that in the playoffs.
They can't.
They cannot.
And we said it to for is like and to be honest, it's a lot of teams that we can look at, you know, break down from like even the Steelers of like, okay, Mike Tomlin having all these good years, but we haven't got the Super Bowl. Like we can ask questions, but for us, really, to be honest, it's always been the Bills. Josh Allen has been, even with Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, we still put Josh Allen above as the best quarterback that we have in our league. Bills have been off and on as the best defense we have in our league. The Bills, period, has been one of the best teams in our league, and yet you have not got to a Super Bowl. I still am a firm believer of if they don't get to the Super Bowl, they are going to fire their head coach.
I think so too, and I think it's deserved.
Deserved? Yes. Okay. As far as the situation then, but I still think that he's a good enough coach to get like. I wouldn't mind if the Titans hired him.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying he's unhireable, but just in that situation, he's just proven that he can't get it done. And they've been to the playoffs, 5-6 years in a row. You keep losing to the same team under weird circumstances where you should have won, you know, over and over again. It's just how much patience can you really have is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I'm not saying
look at organizations like the Titans. We was number one seed. Now we lost patience after the next year. We didn't get nowhere. Now look at us. Bottom of the barrel.
I saw a post where they said that the Titans right now could have Malik Willis, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, with
Mike Vrabel.
With Mike Vrabel still coaching them.
And look at all of them individually doing
all of them doing great elsewhere. And the Titans are ass.
Hi, I'm Tennessee Titans fan. Clown number 186.
Nice to meet you.
It's bad, bro.
It shows you. It goes to show you how important ownership is.
Very important.
Yeah, it's extremely important.
We've had literally when we was number one seed in the NFL, not just the AFC, number one seed in the NFL. And when we lost to the Bengals, I was like, yo, this is a learning point. We ain't never been to this point. Let's do it again next year. Nope. Trade AJ. Like, that's where it started falling. But I would say, for sure, for the Bills' sake, Bills, even though Patriots look good, Broncos look fantastic. Ravens could sneak. Ravens or Steelers, it don't matter which team goes to the playoffs out of these two teams, they can beat the Bills. Anybody in the playoffs can beat the Bills, but the Bills, you have the most experience. Josh Allen has the most experience. The coach of the Bills has the most experience. Well, besides Sean Payton, but even then, he's freshly new with the Broncos, so you can't really count that experience well right now. Just individual, but from coach to player to players, this whole organization, you have the most outright experience on the AFC side. There's no way you should not be in the Super Bowl this year.
No excuse. No excuse whatsoever. No Patrick Mahomes, maybe possibly no Lamar, no Joe Burrow. I mean, dude, it's a shame you didn't win your division, but you know what? That don't even matter.
That don't even matter.
Hey, you got to go and, I mean, you're probably the odds-on favorite anyway.
Yeah.
So, you got to get it done. And if not now, then when? And that's why you got to get rid of the coach if they don't get it done.
Yeah, if they go to the Super Bowl, then I think they get rid of their coach.
Yeah.
All right, that was NFL football. Going to college football. College football was a great first round. Now we're heading on to the second round. Before we talk about those round games, Michigan have themselves a new head coach. What's your thoughts about the hire? I didn't know he was at Utah for that long.
Yeah, I did. I was a little surprised because usually when a coach is at a school that long, I mean that he's had opportunities and he's been pretty successful there.
Yeah.
That he would have had this opportunity before now to, take, one of the blue blood type jobs, and that he would have already taken it. And the fact that he hadn't means that he was happy where he was at.
Yeah.
So for him to take it now is a little bit shocking to me. I mean, it's definitely not who I expected. I'm not sure who I expected, but I just I just didn't think it would be like that situation to somebody's 24-year coach or however long he's been. I mean, it's been a long time.
It's been long. It's been over 20.
Yeah. So,
but do you think that being said, would you say that maybe Utah did something? Or it's just like you just kind of want to test the waters at this point?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to challenge. You know, every once in a while, you want to grow and change and, do something a little bit different. And I mean, he's probably not going to, have a chance to, make playoffs and win, natties at Utah. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, Michigan's going to have the resources.
Yes.
Now,
sure.
I think that program is in a little bit of shambles, so he's going to have to rebuild it a little bit, because, Harbaugh left and, a bunch of players from his era left, and then, what went on with Sharon Moore after him,
And I'm not trying to be funny, but, like, the way Sharon Moore has moved right now, you have to be careful because, like, they going to be looking extra at you now.
What, at Kyle Whittingham?
Or anybody who takes his job, they're gonna be looking at. Anybody's gonna be looking at. Even if you talk to any other female the wrong way, they're gonna just how the media is.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they'll attach that to him necessarily, but I get your point though. He's gonna have to watch his every step. But I mean, I think just because of the internet age and the exposure that everybody has, and you got to watch your steps anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, he dude just got stupid. I mean, I don't know how else you categorize what Sharon Moore did. That was just stupid. The whole thing from beginning to end. I'm not going to get into it, but it was just dumb.
You just, at this point, you lost everything.
Yeah, I mean.
In 24 hours.
Dude, and you're not coaching anymore. Yeah, I mean, forget that. But now that the Michigan job has been filled, I think all of the big jobs are all gone. And we can talk about what's really important, and that's the playoffs.
What about Ole Miss?
Ole Miss ain't important now that dude goes.
Yeah, I was like, they gonna wait to after season to do that.
I mean, they're still in the playoff, so there's not a whole lot they can really, or that they should do right now.
Imagine them winning the Natty.
That'd be crazy. This has happened before.
Has it?
Yes. In 1989, the Michigan Wolverines.
Ironic.
They had a coach, I think his name was Bill Frieder, in basketball. And he quit to go to Arizona State, I think, right before the NCAA tournament. And a coach by the name of Steve Fisher took over as the interim head coach and won the national championship for Michigan.
Wasn't he still the coach when they had the 5-5?
Was he still the coach then? I think he was.
I thought so.
But in any case, his first head coaching game was the opening game of the NCAA tournament.
Jesus.
And then he ended up winning the Natty that year.
That's crazy. That's crazy pressure.
So yeah, I mean, it's
It's not impossible, but
it's not impossible. I don't see Ole Miss doing that, but I'm just it has happened before. Nobody saw Michigan doing it either.
That's crazy. All right, that's a new one. Now you know that one. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I'm gonna look that one up. But jumping into it, yes, college games that are coming up for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Okay. We're gonna start with New Year's Eve. Only one game on New Year's Eve. That's gonna be Miami playing Ohio State. That's gonna be a good game. I think so.
I think Ohio State's gonna blow them out.
Whoa. Just like that?
Yeah.
Like, no, just blow them out?
Blow them out.
I don't know.
No confidence in Carson Beck. None.
Okay, I don't have confidence.
Zero.
In Carson
and then
Beck.
if that defense knows that you're going to be run heavy, as good as they are on defense, I don't know that Miami's going to be able to really generate the offense that they're going to need to outgun Ohio State. Because that quarterback, he was a Heisman finalist. Mm-hmm. That wide receiver.
Both wide receivers.
Dude, those are first-round picks. Like, I mean, I know Miami's defense is good, but I'm just saying it's probably a really bad matchup for them.
That's what I was getting to as far as if we look at Ohio State versus Indiana, Ohio State, where was the offense in there? I think Miami has a better defense than Indiana. I think majority of these teams has a better defense than Indiana, and they held Ohio State to 10 points.
Just my humble opinion. God knows I've been wrong a lot. But in any case, I still think Ohio State, anything less than a blowout to me, anything less than, I would say, a 2-score win, well, a 14-point win. Anything less than a 14-point win would be disappointing to me.
So I think Ohio State is going to win the game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. But I would also like to say I would love Florida. I would love Miami to win this game. And reason why I would love them to win the game, and I would love Georgia to win their game, so you can see Carson Beck play Georgia at a possible revenge game in the playoffs. But we'll get on to that later on. You said you got Ohio State in the blowout. I got Ohio State winning, but I don't think it's going to be in the blowout. I think it's going to be closer than what everybody thinks, because I think that defense from Miami, they showed you what they can do. I think Texas A&M is probably the fastest team when it comes to personnel, getting the calls out there, even their hurry up offense. They're just fast and they're gritty, and they know that's why they was able to score a lot of points. The game that we watched, they shouldn't have been losing, but they was losing like 28-7. We blinked and they was tied up. We like, what happened? Like, they just so fast in their game.
They're fraudulent.
And
fuck Texas.
And then we saw what happened versus Miami. How
They're
Miami
garbage.
defense just shut them down. So I don't think they're gonna shut Ohio State down, but it's gonna be a tough day in the office.
They're gonna have a hard time with Ohio State. I'm just telling you.
It's gonna be a tough day for both of them, in my opinion. It's gonna be a tough day in the office. Especially one thing that I think fucked us up last year is when Ohio State might have to do it this year. When we had the number one, or was like number 3 or number 4, and we had the bye week, and then the next week when Ohio State just tore it up on us. Mm-hmm. Same thing gonna happen like this. Miami already played the game, and they're fresh still. They're fresher. Ohio State haven't played since the conference championship.
Are you saying they'll be rusty?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit coming in. You gotta be ready for that. Then moving on to New Year's Day, 2026. We started out 2026 right as the first game is going to be number 4 Texas Tech playing number 5 Oregon. If these games were not bowls and it was still playoff format you go to, we will be actually on the road in Texas Tech. So it was going to be I think it's going to be a good matchup regardless. I'm not scared. I'm just nervous at the fact that are we going to come to the game ready and woken up, or are we going to have another slow start? We can't afford to have slow starts anymore right now. I think this is another year of us looking good on paper and possibly being able to be a national championship, but you got to prove to me now. I've been saying that for years. I've been disappointed for years. But it is what it is. What you think about that game? Who's taking that game?
First of all, you sound scared as fuck. And second of all, I'm going with Texas Tech. So Texas Tech, even though they play in the Big 12, is not the highest level competition. I have a lot of respect for BYU, and they blew them boys out twice. So that defensive line, those linebackers on Texas Tech, dude, they mean business, dude. They mean business. So I like Texas Tech in this game, and I think it'll be close. I actually, think it'll be a really good game. I just think Texas Tech is going to win. I'm thinking a defensive play near the end of the game is going to seal it for them.
Just like you said for the last game, I'm gonna say it for this game. I think Oregon beats them out or blows them out easily.
Okay. Oh yeah. Now you're trying not to sound scared. All right.
I think we actually have a more chance at all these games. I think we have the best chance of talking about a blowout. I don't think Texas Tech's been there, but not really. Like every other team has at least, well, except Miami. Every other team has at least been there, like recently. Well, I guess for Miami too. I guess you can say that too, huh? And then afternoon game on New Year's, Alabama will be playing the number 1 team in the country, which is Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana Hoosiers too. They first time in their position. You gave them a first round bye. They had a break. Are they going to be rusty coming in versus a already established Alabama team, or what's going to happen?
This is like the most interesting game.
Yeah.
Because you have, you can't really argue that Indiana's the number 1 team. You just can't. They haven't lost a game, and they're the only team to beat Ohio State, who was number 1 all stinking year long. Mm-hmm. So you can't say that, that they're not battle tested or anything, because not only did they beat Ohio State, they won a close game to win that game.
Win the game. And then you got the Heisman Trophy winner as your quarterback.
But Alabama is Alabama, though. It's like, is it the name Alabama?
Yeah.
Is this team really that team like, Nick Saban's teams?
No, but it's still Alabama.
I don't know. I mean, there's talent there for sure. There's no question about that. There's talent there. But Alabama, what scares me about Alabama is there's 2 things. One, I love the quarterback.
Yes.
But they can't run the ball consistently.
Yeah, that is like bad.
And I mean, like,
and that's a problem Nick Saban has never had.
That's a serious problem for them in this game, because Indiana's offense can light you up. And so, you don't necessarily want to get into a shootout with them. You want to play some ball control some kind of way with you being the underdog and playing against the Heisman Trophy winner. You want to take the ball out of his hands some, limit the possession some.
Yeah.
But if you can't run the ball, how are you going to do that? And if you got Ty Simpson dropping back every play and they know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That kind of what makes Alabama vulnerable to me. Having said all that, I'm picking Alabama.
You're picking Alabama?
I'm picking Alabama.
Yeah. I think this is kind of one of the first times in a while that I say that Alabama has struggled to run the ball, which has never been Nick Saban's problem. Look at all the running backs he sent to the league. He never have a problem, or even in the ones he didn't personally send to the league, look at his running back rooms when he was there. I think one year he had Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry.
He didn't have Alvin Kamara, did he?
Yes, it was the same running back room.
Before he went to Tennessee?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was on that Alabama squad. It was Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry. It was another running back they had too. I want to say it was Damian Harris. That was 1 year. that was your running back room. So he has never ever had a challenge of running the ball. But I think, now that Nick Saban's not there, like it has it plays a small part. Now I will say this: I've seen videos of people making fun. People joke all the time, but I've seen certain videos of like the games that Alabama do lose. It's Nick Saban sitting there right there, like, all right, everybody sit the fuck down. Even the coach is like, yeah, you about to listen to me, and they be laughing and they be joking. But I really think a little bit of that happens. Like he's calling somebody like, what the fuck was that y'all just put out there?
Yep. Nah, there's no question. That's how coaches act.
Yeah, for real. And like somebody who was tied in with Alabama for that long, yeah, he still got those ties to ask questions. But Yeah, first time for Indiana, in my opinion, that I've seen. I know you've seen a lot of more football than me, and I know they talk about Indiana used to be good back.
I don't ever remember Indiana being good at football.
Okay, so even then, they were better than what they are now.
I remember they've had a couple of good teams. If you remember Antoine Randall L, who played in the NFL for a while, he was a wide receiver. He was actually a quarterback in college.
Okay,
and they were decent when he was there. I can't ever remember another time when they were any good.
Okay, then. Well, that's never seen an Indiana team be
last year's team was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
You never really seen one be like this to where like they are. I feel like Indiana's the clear cut favorite right now to win it all.
They're number one. I wouldn't call them the favorite.
Number one Heisman Trophy winner. As on paper, you look as number one. Yeah. I feel like everybody still got Georgia or probably Georgia or Ohio State.
Georgia or Ohio State is pretty much everybody's favorite.
And so, but I want to go with Indiana. Only reason I'm going with Indiana is because I want Indiana to win. I want Oregon to win because I want my revenge on Indiana. I want Indiana. Now,
okay, now you're trying to call teams out.
Yeah, I want Indiana.
Okay.
Now, if we
you got to handle Texas Tech first before you start calling for Indiana, dude.
Hey, we good. We looking on to I want Indiana for that to go to the national championship game, which will be hopefully a good game. And then for your night game is going New Year's Day. It's going to be Ole Miss. The Lane Kiffin-less Ole Miss.
Laneless
Ole Miss is going to be playing Georgia, number 3 in the country. Should be a perfect game. I think the way that Ole Miss handled Tulane shows that they still are good enough to compete. I want to say Georgia was their only loss, right?
Yes.
Georgia was their
That was the only game they lost, and they should have won that game.
Should have won, and now this is like a low-key revenge game for you. I don't know. This game is going to be one of the more interesting one as well. Who you got in this game?
I got to go with Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is going to outcoach that interim coach, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game. Kirby Smart, with that defensive scheme. I think he's got too much experience, too much smarts, he's too skilled a coach to lose this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though Ole Miss is formidable, and even if they did have Lane Kiffin, I still don't think they were going to win this game. So I'm going with Georgia, and I'm not going to say blowout, but I'm going to say, maybe they're threatened a little bit, but, they...
So like 14?
No, less than that. I would say like maybe, 7 to 10.
7 to 10?
Something like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be an interesting game. It's not going to just be something you have to take a nap through, but, I just think that Kirby Smart's going to, in the end, Kirby Smart's going to be too much for that interim coach.
Yeah. But what if this interim coach beat Kirby Smart? Would you probably consider him for the head coaching spot at this point?
I think you would have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, so it's going to be an all-around good round of games. Okay, once those games get concluded next week, we will on our next episode we will talk about the semifinals and then go to the finals. If you was to pick one team right now, who is going to win it all? Who would you pick?
Ohio State.
Ohio State? Not all of them? Repeat
back to back.
That's what's up. If I had to pick, I want to pick Oregon, but I'm not, obvious reasons. But if I had to really pick, I would not be surprised if Georgia wins it all again.
They could do it too.
Oh my God! And I hate it because I don't like Georgia. Forget Georgia.
Not my favorite either, but they keep beating Texas. So
they are talented. So
yeah.
They gonna do what they do. All right, as y'all can see, we got on these NBA jerseys. We're gonna talk a little NBA before we get to the best segment in the world. NBA. If you was to ask me about a cool maybe 3 weeks ago, I definitely would have told you OKC is the best team in the league. They might beat the Bulls and Warriors record because they was not losing.
They 24-1?
They were like 24-1, whatnot. Then the past couple of weeks happened to where the Spurs have beaten them 3 games in a row.
Yes.
Well, not like back to back, but like they played
3 straight matches.
3 straight matches. Thank you. And so the first 2 games I gave a pass. First game, you're talking about the Cup, NBA Cup, is in Vegas, so it's really no home court advantage. All right, it makes sense. Second game in San Antonio. All right, makes sense. Third game was in OKC. So at this point, are the Spurs their kryptonite?
Could be. Well, I can tell you this: the Spurs are just uber talented.
Yes.
Everybody talks about Wemby, but it's not just Wemby.
It's not just
because
Wemby.
when he was out, they were still winning games left, right, and center.
Yes.
And it's a bunch of names that people haven't heard of, or maybe not necessarily that they haven't heard of, but they're not recognized because San Antonio is just not one of them sexy franchises. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, even when they had Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and them guys, it still wasn't really like the sexy franchise.
It wasn't. Dude, I used to always be surprised when I was in high school and I'm watching ESPN randomly on like a December 29th. I'd be sitting there and then they talk about the Spurs. Like the Spurs are 24-2. I'm like, they only lost 2 games. They secretly winning games and shit. That's what they do, man. It's part of their DNA. So I get it.
But I mean, like they actually do have a stacked and loaded roster.
Oh my God!
And apparently they're a matchup nightmare for OKC.
If you're a matchup nightmare for OKC, just imagine the whole rest of the league, because the rest of the league can't beat them. So if you the one that got their number, you like shit. Do we want to play the Spurs?
It's like that sometimes though. Like, you know, you're good against other teams, but you're great for some reason against that team.
Yeah,
it's just a weird dynamic sometimes. I still don't necessarily think that the Spurs are the best team in the league, but if I'm OKC, I gotta look at what we're doing wrong, because anytime you lose 3 times in a row, you kind of got to open your eyes to, you know, there's something that they're doing that we're not handling well.
Exactly.
So you need to figure that out, because in all likelihood you're gonna see them in the playoffs at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
And yeah, if you want to go back to back OKC. You got to figure out what to do with Wemby and
Castle, and
which I picked him to be the rookie of the year last year,
yes,
and he
did.
was. I knew that boy was cold. And De'Aaron Fox.
Can we start talking about like how we gave flowers to OKC last year when they won the championship, their development program and everything? Let's talk about the way that the Spurs are doing it. Drafted well. De'Aaron Fox, even though you got him free agency, like OKC got.
No, they traded for him.
Oh, okay, yeah, traded for him, just like OKC got the SGA in the trade, and then you just draft and build.
All right, they drafted Castle. They drafted was it Dylan Harper?
Dylan Harper.
So I mean, like they've
Sohan.
Yep, they've done well with their draft picks, which is really the key. Almost, unless you got LeBron on your team,
yeah,
that's how you build. So, and the only reason you don't do that with LeBron is because LeBron ain't gonna let you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, they're going to have a problem at some point though, and which is the same problem that OKC is about to have. So you can't pay everybody in a salary cap league. I mean, I guess you could, right? But the luxury tax, the luxury tax is gonna kill you, and there ain't too many owners that's gonna, you know, do that kind of luxury tax. I know OKC's owner, I'm pretty sure, is not.
Yeah.
The Spurs owner, I'm pretty sure, also won't. So you're gonna have to figure out how to flip them players in a way that continues success but keeps you viable at the same time. Now, this is Wemby's third year?
Yes.
So he's going to be eligible for an extension after next season. You're going to have to pay him the max, whatever the hell that is. You don't even. There's no negotiation. It's like, when are you signing? Because we're giving you the most we can possibly offer you.
Yep.
And then, you know, Castle, I think, comes up the year after that. And then Dylan Harper a couple of years after that. And then De'Aaron Fox is already making top dollar. And what are you going to do there? I mean, for the long term, there's questions. But for now,
right now it's
they're fantastic.
And then you, like I said, with OKC, look at how OKC did it. You drafted all these great players, but you also put good other players around them. Alex Caruso, what's the old boy from the center, Hartenstein. You put him. Same thing for the Spurs. You drafted well in Wemby and Castle and Dylan. I think Dylan Harper is just not a late bloomer, but he's just not going to be the rookie of the year. But he's still going to be solid for their team. But then you think about all the pieces they add, from De'Aaron Fox to Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes is a sneaky guy. Where look at when he was on the Warriors and they built a net.
You forget that he's still in the league, and then you watch him play, and like you just see him making game-changing plays all the time.
All the time. And think about every organization he's been for. From the Warriors when they first started. He was a part of that 73-9 team. People forget about that. Went to the Kings. People forget about that. Like the Bean Kings when they was killing with De'Aaron Fox. He was on that team. And now with the Spurs on another development team. He's a good player to bring in for a veteran presence and to help develop guys. And he's done it night in and night out his whole career.
He has.
And so, like, Harrison Barnes, that's another cat that deserves a lot of flowers that we don't give him. But champion, he's always helped develop whatever it is, bring in that young player and develop them. And he was good. He was good in college, in my opinion.
He was good in the pros, too. I mean, he was key on that Warriors championship team.
Yes.
And, I mean, the only reason they had to let him go was because they got Kevin Durant. I mean, well, what you going to do?
You can't pay too much.
Yeah. Kind of got to – that's an easy decision to make, but it don't mean that he's not a good player.
Yeah, and I think everywhere that he's been relevant. Yeah. And he's been a great player. So, I definitely say look at how the Spurs are handling it. They literally are doing – the OKC way, but their way, how they've been doing it before. I mean, you forgot that the Spurs drafted Tim Duncan and David Robinson and started like that from their career. Then you got Manu, Tony, and all these other players. So it's really a repeated cycle for the Spurs. But are they the best team in the league since they beat OKC 3 times in a row, or is this just a fluke?
I'm not going to say it's a fluke. That's legit, but that doesn't necessarily make them the best team in the league. I say no. No. I say OKC is still the best team in the league.
Who's behind OKC, though? Your Knicks are looking fantastic.
They are looking good. So I'm not going to say them because I'm not trying to jinx nothing.
Yeah,
how about the Detroit?
I was waiting on that.
How about the Detroit Pistons?
Yo, Detroit is nasty.
Yeah.
I'm loving what they're doing, too.
Yeah.
I think it's the Thompson brothers. Them Thompson brothers is going to be something to fight for, bro. Wait till their time comes for an extension. All right, you already know what time it is. Time for the best segment in the world, soon to be known to the world's best segment in the world. Way Back Wonders. If you are new here, Way Back Wonders when the OG tells the young buck stories about past athletes that maybe I just didn't know or I was too young to understand. But now that I'm older, I fully understand. All right, who's our Way Back Wonder for today?
All right. Today's Way Back Wonder is someone who many consider the greatest quarterback of all time.
Who's Tom Brady?
Joe Montana.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm the young one.
Yeah. Okay, for the record, I don't think he's the GOAT, but I think he's second, without question.
Tom Brady or?
Joe Montana.
Oh, Joe Montana, okay.
So, Joe Montana played for the San Francisco 49ers for the majority of his career. He came out of college as a third-round pick.
Oh, really?
Out of Notre Dame. Yeah, not a whole lot was expected
he went to
of him.
Notre Dame?
He went to Notre Dame.
Okay.
Look at the Irish.
Okay, I'm learning a lot already. We just
started. The ironic thing was Bill Walsh did not want to, who was the coach at the time, legendary coach of the San Francisco 49ers, invented the West Coast, well, not invented, but architect of the West Coast offense. Didn't necessarily want to draft Joe Montana. He would rather have had Phil Simms.
Oh, wow.
So he went and did a visit with Phil Simms at Morehead State, where Phil Simms went to college, and was planning on drafting him in the third round instead of Joe Montana.
Wow.
But the Giants ended up taking Phil Simms in the first round. Killed that plan.
Damn.
And so he had to settle for Joe Montana.
Imagine I have to settle for Joe Montana.
That's crazy. So, of course, he didn't know what he had at first.
Is it Morehouse State or?
Morehead State.
Morehead. Okay, never mind. Start. Keep going.
They're in Kentucky. Yeah, I know what you were thinking. So, he comes in. He immediately very, very good, and then, starts showing flashes of greatness. Mm-hmm. Won his first Super Bowl, I believe, in 1984, before Jerry Rice got there. So it wasn't just him throwing the rice.
Oh, okay.
Like people try to discredit him for having a good wide receiver on his team. He actually won a Super Bowl without Jerry Rice.
Okay.
He ended up winning 4 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. He went 4-0 in those Super Bowls.
4-0. That's where a lot of people that argument.
And 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in those 4 Super Bowls. And keep in mind now, once again, that we're talking early to mid 80s. So you're talking about a time where you can rough up receivers.
Yep.
You're talking about a time where you can hit the quarterback. And there was a couple of times, my old heads is going to remember Jim Burt from the Giants knocking him out of a playoff game. And knockout was the key word because that dude got hit and didn't move after that.
Damn, for real?
So, he was called Joe Cool, one of his nicknames. Famous for fourth quarter comebacks. One of the most famous plays in his career was the catch, which I'm sure you're familiar with in 1981. I remember watching that at like 9 years old, thinking it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen.
Why did I think that was in the Super Bowl?
Because it's so hyped up. It was actually the NFC Championship game. Okay. It was the Cowboys and the Niners, so you know it couldn't have been the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're both NFC teams, but it was the NFC Championship game, and it was right at the end of the game. San Francisco had the ball. I think it was 4th down. It was 3rd or 4th down, and he looked like he threw it away almost. But Dwight Clark was there, caught the ball. Sent them to the Super Bowl, to their first Super Bowl.
Okay.
So that was kind of his signature play until his 3rd Super Bowl where they played the Cincinnati Bengals, and he threw the game-winning touchdown at the end of the game.
Oh, shit.
To John Taylor, another underrated wide receiver, fantastic player. Of course, you know, when you play on Super Bowl teams, you have fantastic teammates on both sides of the ball. So, you know,
more than likely, yeah.
He had Jerry Rice. He had Wendell Tyler. He had Roger Craig. He had Brent Jones. He had Ronnie Lott. He had Eric Wright. He did have a lot of really good
Hall of Fame players.
Yeah, really good teammates. But he's the glue that kept it all together. And you know, until Tom Brady's like kind of resurrection, like almost like his second career, you know, after Tom Brady won them first 3, Joe Montana was considered the GOAT up until then.
Yeah.
One of the things that I respect about Joe Montana is there came a time when he kind of got older, and you know, they kind of do this to players, like you get older and they don't let you leave on your own terms, and they released them.
The Niners released them?
The Niners released them.
Damn.
Because they had Steve Young.
Okay.
So they had another Hall of Famer backing him up.
I like, you can't be mad, but
yeah,
you're like...
Steve Young went on and won a Super Bowl too. Yeah, so it's like it's
so it wasn't an epic fail, but...
But Joe Montana went to the Kansas City Chiefs and took them to the playoffs. So it wasn't Joe Montana played for the greatest team ever and was carried. The man could play.
Yeah.
And the man was a winner.
Yeah.
He's, you know, was always kind of a quiet guy. His teammates always described him as a great leader. But, you know, he, at least outwardly, he didn't seem like a rah-rah type of guy. But, you know, he was tough. He didn't have, like, the strongest arm. He wasn't the biggest, most prototypical type quarterback, you know, 6'3", 6'4", you know, 225 with a rocket arm. He really wasn't any of those things. I would equate him to kind of like a Drew Brees. Okay. You know, kind of smaller, not a huge arm, but good enough.
He can get you the ball.
But he was deadly accurate. I mean, deadly accurate on crossing routes. With the receivers that he had. With the receivers that he had, the run after the catch was no joke.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, you know, when you have Jerry Rice going across the middle and you hitting him in stride, big things are going to happen.
Yeah.
And because of his accuracy, big things happen
All the time.
very often.
Yeah.
And, often enough that he was considered the greatest quarterback who ever played for a good while. I would say probably for about 20, 25 years. There's still people today that argue that he was. Even Lawrence Taylor argues that Joe Montana is the best quarterback that's ever played because how the rules have changed now to protect quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I don't agree, but I understand his thought process behind it.
Especially like somebody as Lawrence Taylor, who is arguably one of the best defensive players to ever play a game.
He's the best defensive player that's ever played. We don't tolerate no Lawrence Taylor disrespect over here.
Yeah, and every disrespect, just saying like, guy like that is speaking highly of you. Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah. So, but I mean, he was absolutely tremendous. Hall of Fame, first ballot, automatic. Mm-hmm. No question. So he held a whole bunch of NFL records. They're pretty much all broken now. With the way the game is played now, more passing. At the time, the game wasn't as pass happy as it is now, and the running backs carried the day more. The game was just overall different with the physicality and the way you could rough up receivers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's absolutely tremendous, and I know I personally have him at my number 2. I won't argue too hard with people who say he's number 1.
Yeah, because you have very fair arguments on why he should be number 1.
Yeah.
Very fair. And I would say this though, I bet when that West Coast style offense was kind of. I'd say when he was showing how good it really can be, I bet that was kind of like how we looked at like Patrick Mahomes first year. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? You can throw that like that? Like, you can do that? Like, what is all this movement? I don't like this.
Yeah, and the thing is, not everybody can run that offense, and especially back then.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody could really run that offense. Like, now, almost all the offenses are kind of variations of the West Coast offense. But back then, they were the only team that was really running it and proficient at it.
I feel like the 49ers now have kind of got back to that. Have you seen all the formations and stuff they do, the offense they do now? It's kind of crazy.
I mean, most teams kind of run a variation of it now.
But they back to the roots, man. Brock Purdy was looking a little bit Montana-ish the other night. But anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I actually like that one. Joe Montana is one of the greats. He on my list, he's number 2 now. Actually, he's number 1 now for me until Tom Brady says I'm officially retired and not coming back to football.
Dude, he's in the booth, man.
I just saw Phillip Rivers get off his couch at 44 years old to come play football. Tom Brady is still in shape. He can come back tomorrow if he wants to. He's not.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
But I want to officially see him Hall of Fame jacket, and he's there. All right, that's the number 1 quarterback in the world. That's just me. I need to see you fully. Same for LeBron. LeBron ain't fully retired yet either. So I can call him number 1.
He hasn't even announced that he's going to retire.
Exactly. I don't even know when. He might play till he's 50. You never know. But I say a question I have for sure. Do you talked about earlier Joe Montana having one of those top teams ever? You named all those Hall of Famers. I can't even double back down on who you named. What would you say that team, especially that high-powered offense, versus I forget the year every time I talk about this team, but the Pittsburgh Steelers year.
Oh, the 78 Steelers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's whoa. Because I would say one of these teams with Jerry Rice. Right. I was about to say I'll take one of the teams with Jerry Rice, but even so, when Pittsburgh in 1978, when they were playing, they had even harder rules.
Yeah.
So it's still two different styles. I don't know. I mean, I guess recency bias would have me picking the Niners, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I'll let you think about that. We ask next week.
Yeah.
I would also like to say Joe Montana has always been a one that I've had early on in my sporting careers. I've kind of harshly judged him a little bit because of what you said in the beginning of like he's played with Jerry Rice his whole career and all this. And I thought he played with Jerry Rice all 4 Super Bowls. I didn't know that he did not play the first Super Bowl.
No.
So I thought it was all 4 Super Bowls. And then on top of that, I was just like, oh, well, you know, Jerry Rice has Joe Montana. Joe Montana has Jerry Rice. I was the one that was doubling down on that when I was younger. But now, knowing what I know, being older than myself, I know for a fact that, like, Joe Montana is that guy. And I think he's definitely number one, or definitely number 2, but definitely can be number 1. Like I said, I got my whole conspiracy theory with the Tom Brady thing. But I think he still should be talked about as one of the I don't want to say founding fathers. That sound like a dollar bill. But one of the founder fathers of football when it comes to quarterbacking. Like when you talk about quarterbacks, you have to talk about Joe Montana. And you have to talk about now the Patrick Mahomes or the Tom Brady's and everything. But Joe Montana should definitely still, for years to come, we're talking about 30, 40 years down the line, it should still be Joe Montana that we'll be talking about forever and ever when it comes to football stuff. Now, maybe in like another 50, from like 40 to 60 years, Joe Montana might be a little bit forgotten about it because we're going to talk about in 40, 50 years from now, that was way back in the 80s. And that's like almost 100 years ago. Yeah, we not going to, you know what I'm saying? So, I get it how it's going to be, but it is what it is. But I do like that way back wonder. All right. Last segment of the day. Last segment of the day is List of the Week. It's where we take a topic or we go to you guys, the fans, and we pick a top 5 list. Okay, our top list of the week is top 5 players or athletes who retired on top. All right. Let's get into that.
All right. So we're going to start off in boxing. So at number 5 for the top 5 athletes who retired on top, we're going to go with Rocky Marciano. Yeah, so he retired at 49-0 as heavyweight champion of the world.
Wasn't he a boxer?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He boxed, I want to say, it's definitely a long time before I was born.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, I'm thinking 50s maybe.
Oh my God.
So he was the heavyweight champion almost immediately after Joe Louis.
Oh shit.
And he held the heavyweight championship for several years before he retired undefeated. The only heavyweight champion ever to retire undefeated. He beat kind of a who's who of boxers at that time. So he did fight the best. He did beat Joe Louis.
Okay.
He beat Archie. Archie Griffin was football. Archie Moore.
2 different sports.
Yeah. But he dominated and cleaned out the heavyweight division back in the 40s and 50s. Well, in the 50s, I'm pretty sure it was the 50s.
Uh-huh.
And back then, heavyweights were closer to 200 pounds. I don't even think he was 200 pounds. I think maybe 190, 195.
Damn, for real?
And he was beating guys bigger than him.
So like kind of like a Mike Tyson thing?
Yeah. I'll go there because he was icing cats. Cats was frozen on the canvas after they fought him. So yeah, you got to recognize that the man did what he did. He was great.
Yeah. And you say what? That was back in the 50s?
Yes, in the 1950s.
I need to check this. I seen them on the boxing game Undisputed.
All right, so we now move to number 4. Mm-hmm. The number 4 all-time athlete who left at the top is Terrence Crawford. This just happened.
Oh, so this is recent.
Yeah, he just retired. Was it last week?
It felt like it.
Yeah. But he had the biggest fight of his career against Canelo,
mm-hmm.
and stepped off after that.
Right after that.
So he's a little bit of an anomaly though, because he wasn't like a superstar up until maybe his last few fights.
Yeah.
However, he's retiring undefeated with all the belts. I think he was the welterweight champion. He moved up to, was it super middleweight?
Yeah, I think it's super middleweight.
And won that too. I mean, and won all the belts. Whooped Canelo's ass and then just gave him the belts.
Yep.
And then I remember the WBC or whatever went after him, trying to strip him of the titles because he didn't pay sanctioning fees or something like that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a thing. But kind of on a sidebar, boxing is pretty corrupt, and they probably need some kind of a governing body instead of having all these, WBA, WBC, WBO, and all these alphabet soups that they got.
I would say it's different ones, so that's why.
Yeah, so like you can't even, a lot of times you can't even recognize who's the real like champion.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So but he it's not like he was a young man. He was 38 when he won that fight. I don't know if he's had a birthday since or not. I don't think he has. It was pretty recently he fought.
Yeah.
But he stepped off at the top of his game. There are other fights he possibly could have took. He possibly could have took a rematch with Canelo, but he's made his many, many millions with his head and body intact, with his brain okay, no CTE or any of that concussion stuff.
Nothing that we know of right now.
Yeah, and him, his wife, and his 6 children can live happily ever after with all of that dough.
God damn. He got 6 kids?
He got 6 kids.
Like,
he's a busy boy in between them fights. All right, so now we move on to number 3. Mm-hmm. And we move to the NFL now. And the number 3 athlete who left their sport at the top of their game is John Elway.
John Elway.
So to put this in context, John Elway had always been considered the quarterback who couldn't win the big game. Mm-hmm. And so he had went to 3 Super Bowls in a row and lost each one, worse than the last one.
Damn.
Having gotten blown out in all 3.
Oh, wow.
So he lost to the Giants in 86, 39-20.
Okay.
And the game was, I think the Broncos were actually up at halftime, and they ended up still getting blown out.
Damn.
Then they lost to the Washington Redskins 42-10.
Oh, Jesus.
In the game where Doug Williams became the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, that was against the Broncos?
That was against the Broncos.
Okay.
And then he lost to Joe Montana and the Niners.
Okay.
And that was like 55-10. Like, they got absolutely blown out. Now, in his defense, when people talk about, having this great team around you, he didn't have that until the end. So, that's when he got Shannon Sharp and, Terrell Davis and Steve Atwater and them boys, Rod Smith, and, and started putting together playoff runs.
Yeah.
And he won 2 Super Bowls in a row and then said sayonara after that. And he was 37, and I mean, he wasn't really necessarily showing any signs of age or regression or any of that. He just, it was time.
I won my 2. That's what I was.
Yeah, I won 2. I don't have anything more to prove. 5 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl wins, back to back. I'm out.
Out of here.
That's how you do it. And so now we move on to number 2. Mm-hmm. And really, this could be number 1, but it's not. And it's because he retired, but he came back.
So does that count?
It's got to count because it's on this list, so I'm making it count. So the number 2 all-time athlete who left at the top of their sport is Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. So he won 3 championships in a row 2 separate times.
Yes.
The second time he did it, he retired after the 1998 season after they beat the Utah Jazz for the second time in a row.
Yeah.
He was only 35. Again, showing no signs of regression or falling off or anything. He retired basically because they were breaking the team up, and he did not want to be part of a rebuild or anything like that. So he walked away, and he did retire for 3 years. Came back, I think, after 3 years and played 2 years with the Washington Wizards before retiring again. Mm-hmm. But that 1998 retirement, storybook.
Couldn't write it better than that.
Hey, hit the game-winning shot in Game 6 to win the championship after scoring 40. I think he scored 45 points in the game where his team only scored 85.
Oh shit!
So like he's the reason they won.
Yeah.
I mean, really. We all know, 6 championships, 6 Finals MVPs. We all know that. But on Final MVP number 6 and championship number 6, he retired after that. And not only that, he told the world he was going to retire. So that's almost added pressure to go out on top. Yeah. You don't want to tell everybody, look, they're breaking this team up that I know can continue to win, so I'm out, and then go out and lose. You can't do that.
No.
And he didn't do that. So credit to him, even though I hate him for what he did to my Knicks. I do have to recognize that he is an all-time great, and he did retire in 1998 anyway at the top of his game.
Yeah.
But number 1 all time, retiring at the top of their game, was Peyton Manning, who ironically really wasn't at the top of his game.
Yeah. The sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff. So when they won that Super Bowl with Von Miller, mm-hmm. and he rode off into the sunset.
Rode off into that motherfucker.
Yeah, on a Bronco.
Yeah.
Not in a Bronco,
no,
but on a Bronco.
Yeah, like above.
And won his the second Super Bowl of his career, the first one with the Broncos, and that was the first Broncos Super Bowl since John Elway left.
Dude.
So I just now realizing that I got 2 Broncos quarterbacks on this list.
Excuse me. They retired at the top of their game.
That both stepped out after they won the Super Bowl. And neither one of them announced it beforehand.
Yeah,
we kind of thought that Peyton would.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that Elway would.
Especially like the way he was looking. I think that year he missed so many games.
He missed. I think he got benched. Didn't he get benched for Osweiler?
Well, I ain't gonna say he got benched, but like it was like you should not be out here playing.
Yeah.
Like you one more hit and you gonna be in a wheelchair forever, dog.
But yeah, of course, his whole Broncos career was just amazing. From the time that the Colts let him go, and he went to the Broncos and immediately made them championship contenders. Set records for passing yards in the season and touchdowns in the season, and was I guess generally regarded as the most prolific quarterback.
I want to say it was either that first or second year with the Broncos. He did the 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yard season.
Yeah, well, and it was like 5,400 and like 55 touchdowns.
I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, so he's definitely one of the all-time great quarterbacks who left absolutely on top.
On top.
He may not necessarily have been at the top of his game, but he definitely left on top, rode off into the sunset.
Yep.
I like the way he dragged it out, too, because we kind of all knew that he was going to retire, and he just didn't announce it at first and kind of waited and waited and waited. And they asked him right after the game, is this it for you? And he dodged the whole question, didn't really answer it, didn't say yes, didn't say no.
And left.
And then after that, left.
That's always a good one. I love his story with that one.
Yeah. He actually had to. He needed that Super Bowl to tie his brother,
which is insane.
Crazy. Who his brother ain't nearly the quarterback he was. Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've always gotten into an argument. We know Peyton Manning is way better than Eli, and as far as quarterbacking, but Eli has the biggest flex. Not only did I get 2 before you, I beat the dude you couldn't even beat to get out to go to the Super Bowl twice. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's kind of a flex.
He did. I hadn't even really thought of that. But I remember on that, I was actually on the road in the AFC Championship game, listening to that game on the radio while I drove from one place back to Austin. I don't even remember where I was coming from. And I was actually rooting for Peyton because I wanted to see him get one more Super Bowl before he left. And Tom Brady had enough of them, I was thinking at the time, but Tom Brady actually went on and won more after that.
He won a couple more after that.
But yeah, there's that's it for the list. The number one athlete who retired at the top.
Peyton Manning.
Yep.
It's a good list all around. Yeah, I liked that one too as well. I will say, any honorable mentions you were thinking about that you probably was going to put on the list, but you didn't? No?
You know what? If I'd have given this more thought, I can't think of an honorable mention, but people, you can come up with some in the comments.
Yeah.
Or let me know where I screwed up. Because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have switched the order between John Elway and Peyton Manning.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But still, they still were good on there.
Yeah.
I say one person who didn't win a championship but retired, probably one of the best games retired, was Kobe. 60 points is your final game?
They let him do that.
Hey, that's still 60 points is 60 points.
I mean, 60 points is 60 points, but they weren't guarding him that game. I watched that game. They were playing the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz had 0 to play for. The Lakers weren't making the playoffs or nothing. They had 0 to play for. All they did was feed him the ball continuously and let him chuck up shots.
Hey.
And those guys didn't really guard Kobe. I mean, and I'm not trying to belittle Kobe or minimize Kobe in any way, shape, or form.
Hey.
But in that game, they laid down for him.
The comment section is for you on it here.
Okay. I ain't scared. Watch the game. Watch the game. You'll see.
I want to say there was also the time that the Warriors was trying to break the 73-9 record, and so I was flipping back and forth between both games. I remember that. It was cool. What a time.
But I mean, yeah, I can't say that Kobe retired at the top because like that season he averaged like 17, 18 points a game.
I won't say at the top. I would say that was just one of the best last games.
I mean, yeah, okay, it was notable because he scored 60 points and it was his last game. But I mean, if you watch the game, it's not. That wasn't vintage Kobe. We all know that.
That was just here you go, Kobe.
Yeah.
All right,
which is cool.
Is it cool?
It's absolutely cool. I mean, hey, look, that's what you do for your superstars, man.
Yeah. I think they did the right thing, especially for the Lakers organization too. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of Burgess&Son podcast. We will be back next week for talking about who's won on New Year's Day and New Year's Eve and going to the next round of the playoffs with college football playoffs. NBA is starting to heat up again, especially now that football is almost over. We're getting ready for the playoffs in the NFL. Can't wait to see what all happens and all unfolds. Ready to see what happens. But until next time, I'm Zay for Life, and this is Burgess, and we are out.
Out, bitches.